How's it going, everyone? The first two episodes of Alien Earth have aired, and the show is very much about a famous classical paradox called the Ship of Theseus, or just Theseus's paradox for short. I'll explain what the paradox is and how it connects with the themes of the show and some other classical stories. So let's get into it. The ship of Theseus has to be refurbished now and then. So periodically it's brought into port and old parts are replaced with new parts. After enough time passes, all of the original parts of the ship have been replaced. So the ship is now composed completely of parts that were not present when the ship was first built. Meanwhile, the old parts that were on the ship when it was first built have been repaired and refurbished and used to build a new ship. The question is, which of the two ships is the true ship of Theseus, the old ship or the new ship? If the answer is the new ship, then we have to ask, at what point did the old ship stop being the ship of Theseus? When the first part was removed, or the last part, or somewhere in the middle, or when a specific part was removed? Now, if the answer is, well, the old ship, the original ship, is still the ship of Theseus, then we have to ask, if none of the original components of the ship of Theseus are there, then what is it that makes it the ship of Theseus? And the answer has to be, well, something that is not material, something that has to do with the story of the ship or how people feel about the ship. It hints at something to do with the soul of the ship and suggests that a soul has something to do with someone's story and emotions surrounding them. See, that's the paradox of the ship of Theseus. The main character in Alien Earth has had her consciousness, effectively her soul, transferred into a mechanical body in order to save her life. She still considers herself human and the same person that she was before, but not everyone feels that way about her. So here we have the paradox of the ship of Theseus at play. Is she a different person or the same one? Is she human or not? I'm sure this theme will continue to be explored as the show progresses, but this show is not the first sci-fi story to explore this theme. In fact, there is a very classical series of sci-fi movies that explored this, and that is Star Wars. When Luke asks Obi-Wan Kenobi about his father at the beginning of A New Hope, Obi-Wan tells him that Darth Vader killed Luke's father. Luke then goes on to learn that Darth Vader is his father and asks Obi-Wan why Obi-Wan lied to him. Obi-Wan says that the dark spirit of Darth Vader took over Anakin, and that Anakin is now more machine than man. And so what Obi-Wan said to Luke about Darth Vader killing Anakin, that was actually true from a certain point of view. So once again, we have this theme of someone becoming more mechanical, of their personality changing, and of them becoming evil as well. Now, when the main character Wendy is transferred into her new body, part of the discussion has to do with the fact that she feels calmer because her mechanical body is not producing the hormones that her human body would and is not altering her emotions the way her human body would. And there's even discussion between those taking care of her that maybe they should increase the artificial hormones or the artificial emotional effects that the mechanical body creates in order to make her feel more human or make her be more human. So we see this connection between a body becoming more mechanical and less human, and in the case of Darth Vader, becoming evil as well. Now, a mechanical body being evil is something that the Alien franchise shows as well. The synthetics, who are not living things, but completely artificial intelligence, they are not really the good guys. They can do good things, but they're also certainly capable of betrayal and of being antagonists, as they do in a number of films. And these parallels of becoming more mechanical, less human, and more evil are also seen in another classical story, and that is Peter Pan. Now, there's a lot of parallels between Alien Earth and Peter Pan, and direct references to the cartoon are even made very regularly. But the character we want to pay attention to now is Captain Hook, a villain who is part mechanical, who is the captain of a ship and is being hunted by a monster. That is a perfect description of the cyborg trying to capture the xenomorph in Alien Earth. Like Captain Hook and like Darth Vader, the parallels don't stop with the mechanical hand. What the crocodile hunting Hook represents in Peter Pan may hint to us what the xenomorph represents in Alien Earth. The crocodile has gotten a bite of Captain Hook's hand and wants to eat the rest of him. The crocodile has also eaten a clock, and whenever the crocodile is nearby, Captain Hook hears the ticking of the clock, the passing of time, and is terrified. He is also an adult in this land where children do not age. So we see that Captain Hook is terrified by the passage of time, is terrified of age, and is trying to defeat that, is trying to avoid that. In some ways, he is seeking immortality. Alien Earth begins with a description of how the corporations on Earth are competing to see who can technologically create immortality first. And with that introduction, the xenomorph makes its way to planet Earth. So we see that the xenomorph also may very well be representing the passage of time and the challenges placed against an attempt to seek immortality. Darth Vader himself was successfully tempted by the dark side with the promise of the secret of immortality. And this is a theme that the Alien series has explored before. In Prometheus, Weyland is seeking immortality, and he hopes that the engineers can provide him with a mechanical solution to that. But instead, the engineer monstrously kills Weyland. We see it as a theme earlier in Prometheus as well, where Weyland is told that a king has his reign and then he moves on. Another resistance to the idea of seeking a mechanical solution to immortality. So that is how Alien Earth connects with the ship of Theseus paradox and what it has to do about philosophical discussions on the concept of a human soul and of potential mechanical paths to immortality and how that connects to other sci-fi stories, including the Prometheus story within the very same Alien universe. So I hope you enjoyed that, and until next time.